Hi everyone, thank you for joining us here today. My name is Carly and I have Jen here as well, and we work with Links for Greater Learning. Today's workshop will be the first of our From Our Garden Growing Diversity Garden, where we will be featuring a few different natural organic body products. Today we're going to start with a sore muscles soak with Epsom salts and herbs, and then you can also expect to see following videos including a lip balm, a mojito body polish, and a healing salve as well. So for the Epsom salts today, this time of year is a great time to make one of these. We tend to get back out in the garden, spring's in the air, we're digging around, and we could start to feel the aches in our muscles. So this bath soak today will really help to relieve some of the soreness from our muscles.
Great, so let's get to it. We're gonna do 2 cups of Epsom salt.
We just have a big bowl here that we're just gonna mix all of the ingredients in first. Epsom salts are the base of this scrub, and Epsom salts are good because they have magnesium. A lot of magnesium, which helps to relieve the soreness in your muscles and the tension. Yeah.
And this Epsom salt was just purchased from the bulk barn. It's pretty inexpensive. It's about $6 for a nice big bag of Epsom salts. The next ingredient is baking soda.
Yeah, we're gonna put in 3/4 of a cup of baking soda. And baking soda acts as a natural detoxifier, and it's also really good for any kind of irritations on your skin. It'll help relieve that as well.
And it's also from baking soda, or it's also from the bulk barn, and it's pretty inexpensive as well. The next ingredient is chamomile flowers, 2 tablespoons.
We just have dried chamomile flowers here that we actually grew on one of the community gardens that we have here in the Niagara region. And as we go through all the ingredients in this recipe, think about what you can grow in your own garden. Most of these things can be grown in your backyard, or if you have a plot somewhere, and just start to save the flowers and the herbs over time, and then in the fall time or the winter you can create more.
Yeah. Once you get your chamomile established, generally it will self-seed itself and come back year after year. It just might keep moving in the direction of the wind. So you won't necessarily get the same row over and over, but you'll get a continuous crop of chamomile. And this one happens to be from the Start Me Up Niagara farm that's out in Vineland. It's a farm where they grow food for the folks at the Start Me Up Niagara Center on Gale Street in St. Catharines. The next ingredient are pine needles, 2 tablespoons of pine needles.
Here we just have a few branches that have been harvested from a white pine tree. And what I'm going to do is just take just 2 of the branches here and cut them up into smaller pieces. It says about 2 tablespoons, so it will definitely add a nice fragrance to the soak.
And I didn't even dry these needles at all. They're a pretty fresh group of needles. They will dry out eventually if you're not using the soap right away, but I didn't want them to lose any of their color, so it's nice to have them nice and green. But the chamomile flowers, Carly, want to tell them about your drying rack?
Right, yeah. I was able to purchase a drying rack last year from Lee Valley. It's a nice option. It's like a circular mesh screening kind of device that you can hang either in your garage. I had it hung up outside under a pavilion, and it's a great option. It has different layers that you can place each of your different kinds of herbs on, and it just lets the air kind of air dry them out. Yeah, that's a good option. It's compact. It doesn't take up too much room.
So chamomile was nice and soothing. The pine needles have that really nice forest floor aromatherapy. The next ingredient are sage leaves. And it didn't say what kind of sage leaves to use. Do you know what kind this is, Car? Like a white sage or something?
Just a white sage.
A white sage. Smells amazing.
1 tablespoon here, and I think I'll just crumble them up. You can either cut them, or they kind of crumble pretty easy when they're dry.
To dry the sage, you can just make them into small bundles and tie a string around the end, and then just pop that little string on a tack hanging from your ceiling. It dries up really, really well.
Or on a coat hanger as well.
Oh, good idea.
To line them all up. Kind of makes a nice little display too. Good.
Beauty. Oops. Cheers. Yeah, I'll just show you what's going on inside the bowl here. Starting to look beautiful and smells amazing. Then we need peppermint leaves.
2 tablespoons of peppermint leaves. Peppermint's a really easy herb to grow. Yeah, it grows pretty quick, pretty proficiently. It's a perennial. It'll keep coming back every year. The only thing with peppermint is that you want to keep it contained because it spreads really, really easy in the garden. So it's best to grow peppermint either in a pot, just on your patio, or you could put a pot into your bed as well, just so the roots don't spread.
Oh yes. And then similarly to drying the sage, peppermint you can just clip right near the bottom, near the soil, and then put a string around a handful width bundle, and then hang them from the same hanger system that you had going for the sage. They dry up really nice too.
I can start to smell it already.
And then we're also going to put some beautiful calendula flowers in. These are calendula flowers. You can buy them online from a company called Herbie's Herbs in Toronto, and you can have them mailed to your home. I haven't been able to find a local supplier, so if anybody knows of a local supplier, just pop that in the comments below as well.
Calendula can also be grown here. We had a lot of calendula in some of our gardens. It grows pretty well here, but if you need a bulk supply of it, you can easily find that from a supplier.
And then that drying rack would be good for the calendula, right?
Yeah.
For small things like flowers, like the chamomile and the calendula, they go well on a nice drying rack, and then the other ones you can hang upside down. And then we're just going to give this a nice stir. This is going to make a really nice bath. Now, if you don't want your tub to get all the debris in it, I mean, it's kind of annoying to have to clean your tub after a nice relaxing bath. So you can either put this soak into a nylon or wrap it in cheesecloth with a ribbon or a sock. Just like you would imagine putting like a tea bag containing all the herbs in a tea bag. You'll just want something that will release all the oils. So do you want to put, let's put them in now. So we'll do 10 drops of eucalyptus. I think it's a total of 10 drops of essential oils, so maybe 5 eucalyptus and 5 peppermint. A little bit goes a long way because these are really concentrated oils. And this is just to really help with the aromatherapy component. And you'll just want to be careful with your use of essential oils. They tend to be very, very potent.
because they're so concentrated. So just be sure to double check when you're using any essential oils. Just make sure your skin's not too sensitive to it.
Let's give that another stir. Oh no. Okay, we were frozen for a little bit, but we're back. Did you see how long we were frozen for? Well, we'll assume not long. If I put that up there, can you load it in that position?
And it looks beautiful too.
If you're making this into a gift, it's nice to have a really nice presentation. So a nice clear jar is wonderful to be able to see all the herbs in there.
There we go.
There we go. And then if you want, you can sprinkle a little bit of each one on top so that when whoever receives this gift opens it up, they can have a beautiful display right when they take the lid off. Do you want to pop a bit of pine on top?
And a wonderful fragrance as well.
What do you think about a whole sprig on top? Is that crazy? Or like one bundle?
Yeah. Just take a bundle off.
How many needles are in one bundle? 5? Is it 5 for a white pine?
A white pine has 5 little needles in one bundle.
4, 5. Yeah. It's kind of nice to keep nature intact for the display. There we go. And then this just has a plastic lid, which is nice when you're going to have it near water sources so it doesn't rust. And then you can just make a really beautiful label. And
put a bow on it, or a ribbon.
Yeah, that might be nice. You could put a ribbon and a little sprig of pine on the outside as well. That might be really beautiful. Yeah. If you have any questions about what we made today or about from our Growing Diversity garden, you can email contact@linksforgreenerlearning.org and let us know what you're interested in.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for our upcoming other natural body products that we'll be making.
Hope you have a nice relaxing bath soak.